Hello there, folks. We are back at it again here today. I hope you're all doing quite wonderful. I hope you're all taking great care of yourselves. It is a beautiful, beautiful Sunday here for me, personally speaking, so I hope yours is going quite well as well. I'm going to get this link posted to where it needs to be. I hope you're all excited for some casual Elden Ring speedrunning. I know it's a little bit early in the day for a run, but we're going to go ahead and get it all set up, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of take off from there. So I hope you're all ready to have fun. We're going to go ahead and go with the Lightning McQueen lookalike, and we're going to go ahead and name this character something fun today. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the name Speed. So yeah. There we go. Name acquired. Love to see it. And as for our keepsake, we're going to probably be going with what we should be doing right now. Golden Seed is probably one of the better starting items in terms of what we have available to us. Well, I gotta say, this is something I don't really comment too much on with this game, is the starting items in this game are all really relatively balanced, for the most part. Like, they do have their troll item there, sure. That's fine. I love it. I think the Daedra's, I'm forgetting what it is, the Daedra's talisman is really, really good. But, again, it's just goofy that it's there. So, I love it. Link is posted for all those beautiful people that need to know that we have just gone live for the day here. It is day. Hey, Connor, how you doing, buddy? I'm doing pretty good. You know, I'm doing pretty good. It has been a kind of a really busy weekend for me, personally speaking, but I can't complain. Like, it has been nothing short of a great weekend for me. So, yeah, I'm doing pretty good, bud. Glad to hear you're doing well, too. So, pretty much same thing as always. We start this run right off by literally running to our death, because there is literally no reason to do anything other than. Said streaming, early stream, W. Yeah, Anthony, I don't know. I think Spy has family in town right now, and so he has to take a little bit more of a break than he might normally want to. So I think that's kind of what's going on at the moment. But that being said, I mean, yeah, early stream today, just because we're doing the speed run, because I think I have plans later myself today. Unfortunately, the weekend continues to be busy for me, so I figured I'd take some time just to, like, do something. So, if we were being completely, absolutely optimal right now, we would be doing save quits at these little gates here. It is technically about the same pace, regardless of whether or not you do it, but it is an in-game timer fact that if you do it there, it saves in-game time while also opening the door. Yeah, exactly. Just have to wait for it. No worries, Anthony. I promise you, I will make him stream soon enough. Okay, we'll do a co-op together, and you'll see some more action. But in the meantime, we'll have to take a little bit of a break. Do I need this site of grace? I mean, I guess technically I don't. Yeah, because there's technically no reason to do that. Missed the tech there. So what I was trying to do there is essentially if you knock your blade against a wall as you're falling, you can time it out to where you bonk on the wall, and it's technically faster to do that than it is to just outright not do anything and just fall. Because if you fall completely, you are stuck in a falling animation for a couple of seconds, and that's not super ideal. So, yeah, we're just currently making some rounds. We have to get these sites of grace in front of us, as well as a couple more stops. Early game is all about setup, and I think we have a really good setup this time around. We'll have to see how it goes, though. It's going to be much more reliant on weapon arts, though. I will say that. It definitely is a different route from what I have been doing, so we'll see. Every time you do New Game Plus, does the game get harder? I mean, it gets harder in a general sense of, like, yeah, they get more health and they do more damage. That's pretty much about it. It caps out at New Game 6, I believe. New Game Plus 6 is when it caps out, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Wow, that is really piss poor luck today. Huh. Would I ever stream scary games? I did do... Wait, actually, did I do a scary game? Well, I guess Resident Evil 4 is not really scary. It's not really a scary game, so... Wow! Holy shit! I have never seen such piss poor luck. Normally, at least, we get at least one drop from one of those fools, but I've literally never seen it where I get 0 drops from them completely. That's kind of insane. Huh. I mean, it is what it is. It's not that deep. Don't need it, but... You can still be overpowered. Yes, technically. Bleed builds are still pretty strong, because it's percentage based on the health bar. I'm sorry, it should be dialogue mashing. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some scary games sometime. I don't think I'll probably do Fortnite. I'm kind of really bad at keeping dialogue going while I'm also playing a game. And I do like to interact with chat, and unfortunately I don't think that is one thing I could pair very well. You guys probably get recorded videos as opposed to the other thing, so jump scares. Oh gosh, Anthony, honestly, I am really bad at getting jump scared properly. For the most part, I end up speedrunning most of my scary games, and that doesn't really... I won't lie, I don't look very scared whenever it comes to shit like that, because I just don't get scared very well anymore. There's certain things that downright terrify me in video games, one of them being endless cave water. I'm absolutely terrified by shit like that. But we'll have to see. Oh, poor Buck. He will be forever a tree. The poor lad. So one little trick you can all do, and it's relatively straightforward if you know how to play with claw hand. It is mashing your run button while also swapping your weapon. It's very straightforward to do for the most part, and basically if you get stuck in a area where you're losing losing stamina, it just prevents you from losing stamina completely. It really is what it comes down to. Alright, there we go. We got the 1 gold pickled foul foot that we'll need for this run. It's definitely important to have good item management while also having good stats. And unfortunately, we don't really get a lot of chances to balance out both of those on these runs. So we kind of have to do what we can, which means routing in things on the go. I'm sure I do, Anthony. I don't know. I used to be very, very easy to scare, and then I think it was roughly right around the point to when I started trying to speedrun Silent Hill 2. That's roughly the point to when I stopped being quite as scared about games, because for the most part, I kind of started acknowledging those scares as being, like, I guess the easiest way to put it is that I just kind of started not getting scared by it. Hang on. There we go. We kill him for a run back that we'll be doing in a couple seconds here, but we don't need to worry about him right now. He's quite dead. So, anyways. Important recipes are important, so we come over here for a second. There we go. I don't need all of these runes, but it is important to collect a few of them because, again, resource management is massively extensive in this game. Pretty much right up until about the end point in the game. At one point, we are just literally going to be making our way downtown, walking fast towards the end of the game. But until that point, we have to kind of just watch ourselves a little bit. But yeah, no, I think that is roughly the point to when I stopped being really scared about games. And, I mean, I can still get scared. It just doesn't happen as easily for me anymore. Mainly because it just becomes kind of like, okay, this is a mechanic right now, as opposed to me getting in the mindset. Seeing girl play Resident Evil. Is it the original Resident Evil, or is it Resi 2, Resi 3? I imagine it to be the original since you said Resident Evil, but, I mean, again, my mind is, like, it splits off because it must mean, like, multiple things. I don't know. So we get the Site of Grace because we do have to come back here at some point. Now we're going to head over to Fort Height for a multitude of reasons, all of them honestly very important. Now, one thing I have not yet routed super well, and I need to get better about this on this run, is getting a bleed resin. Bleed resin is insanely useful, especially early game, because you can stack it on top of weapons like a katana, and it basically allows you to just give yourself more bleed than usual, which is pretty useful. Okay, there's some root resin right there. Love to see it. We only really need a handful. It's not that deep, but it's definitely important. So, don't need the map anymore because we already kind of know where we need to go for the most part. Oh, there's some more root resin, I think, right there. Okay, so I can start routing that in, at least if I need to. Gotcha. Nice. Okay, cool. Resident Evil is a very fun game, though. It's a lot of fun. The only one I think I haven't played very much of is Resident Evil 1. And while it's fun, I just, you know. Alright, there we go. This talisman isn't going to be useful for a little bit, but it is important to get it now, as opposed to later. Now, realistically, we don't make a stop at the guy that's over to our left here, because while he has useful stuff for us, we don't technically need it, especially considering we have to make a secondary run on this run regardless. It's going to have to happen. Now, if I was going for safety strats, which I'm gonna do that because I am scared of this game occasionally, and it continues to scare me to this day. We're gonna go for the Peach Bonfire, and yeah. Also, this mushroom right here is important because in case I need that later, which it's gonna be very important for a very certain crafting recipe that basically makes one boss just absolutely cakeable. Like, the poor boy can't get away with anything. It is important to get that. Now, Blood Rose is important. We go ahead and we pick it up on our routing here. We go up these stairs. Hop around that lad. Hop off the horse here, because technically, while you can keep running here, it's better to not do that as opposed to the alternative. It's just not as fast. That was surprisingly good luck. Normally, that does not happen there. Okay. Okay. Well, we got away with that. That's good news. I don't think I've heard about that YouTuber, no. If I'm being honest with you, I usually have like a select couple of YouTubers that I kind of relatively follow. And that is about it. Mainly because it's sort of a matter of like, I just don't have enough time in the day anymore. So I kind of do what I can, and that's about it. I'm sure they're fun. Okay. Now, that really wasn't necessary, but we... Oh, actually, I've never seen the Great Knight's... or Knight's Greatsword come out of that. Huh, cool. Xbox Pro controller. Looks like there's a screen and more buttons. Interesting. Huh. I mean, that sounds fun. I'm not really much of an Xbox person, personally speaking, but it sounds like a good time. Alright, now that we've done that, now we can essentially head right back over to the gate front, and now we need to make our second route on this playthrough. Which this one is going to include a bunch of other items that are going to be relatively important to what we have to get done, for the most part, as well as kind of pushing ourselves forward progression-wise. Now, on this run, and I was kind of mapping it out the other day, I believe what we want to do, ultimately, is we want to have our Somber Stones available pretty much before the first boss. Ugh. $200 for a controller? What the fuck? I don't agree with that. That's kind of wild. I hope that thing is, like, superbly amazing, but, again, that's insane. Oh, I don't know about that one, Jim. Oof. I won't lie. I'm not exactly fond of all the things that are constantly going up in price, even though these are things that, I don't know, it feels like for the most part, most of them are just, like, they should just be straightforward. You start watching more YouTube videos, you can't get hecka busy. Yeah, no, I mean, I make time for what I can watch, which usually ends up being relatively exactly what I stream. It really does kind of happen that way for the most part, where it's just kind of the content I put out is kind of pretty representative of what I like to watch, which is horror games and Elden Ring, for the most part. So, you know what, instead of me killing this guy first, I'm going to go up here first, because normally I do it in reverse, but it just kind of makes more sense to do this guy now. Alright, give me the stone, thank you. Also, one little trick that I kind of finally figured out is normally, it used to be very easy to jump off your horse there, if you wanted to, but they weirdly enough made it a little bit harder to do that, and I'm not sure why, but we're going to go and correct the mistake by using the new tech, which is essentially using the whistle to just hop off torrent, and it feels like old patch, which is good, because old patch, unfortunately, is just so much better for speedrunning purposes. It honestly feels better. And that's a little bit sad. It's fine. I know they have to patch the game. I know they have to make it so everybody is accessible on it. And that's just kind of the reality of a lot of these newer games. But still. Like, I had to click the button 4 times there just to get off torrent. And the new way is just I click the button once. So... that should be enough. Love to see it. Alright, chug this real quickly while Big Man is getting up. We want one thing off of him, and now the rest is just killing him.
Humans all lose their wits eventually. And there's nothing left to say, except...
Yep. Alright. Alright, he's dead. Love to see it. He drops a very useful item. Normally, you could wait longer into the game, and he drops a better version of the same item, but it really doesn't matter for where we're at in the game right now. And for our routing purposes, Alexander is much more useful dead to me than he is alive. So we correct that mistake immediately by killing him immediately. Same thing with the character that's going to be coming up here real shortly. D, who's over here, we just go ahead and kill him too, because he has literally zero purpose to us otherwise. We're going to buy these, we're buying this, and we buy this. That is pretty much everything that we need here. And now we can go ahead and... okay, torrent is definitely available to me. You cannot deny me that fact. D is chilling right over here. And we're going to go ahead and kill D as well, because D is, again, not useful for any other reason.
Very well. 100 rays of gold. Deliver this spirit.
No, D. D. Fucking rude. D, you're being rude. Hurry up, D. Die faster. Oh my god, he takes a while to die. Anyways, we kill him because he drops a very, very spicy armor set, and we do like ourselves the spicy armor. Especially considering spicy armor is, well, for a better term, spicy. Yep, okay, yep, talk. Now that we're done with her, we sit down immediately at this bonfire, because at this point we need to start doing a bunch of management on our inventory. Just general things to go ahead and kind of really push us forward in the game. Now, these things are going to be kind of varied on what we do and don't do, but for the most part, it's just little things at this point, as well as a couple things with Kale here. Kale is going to offer us these pots. We also want this kit right here, and that is pretty much everything Kale needs to offer us. Now we go ahead and upgrade our katana at least twice here, and that makes us pretty much ready for the next fight that is available to us, which is over towards the other side of Limgrave. Once we get there, we'll be getting our weapon for the run, which is both very strong, and it has bleed, and you can stack more damage on top of it with other status effects. It's just... the limits of Bloodhound Fang is kind of ridiculous, realistically. And it's gonna basically cake a lot of bosses. So we'll have a lot of good times, honestly. That being said, let me go ahead and get one other thing equipped here for myself. Make my life like 2% easier. This magic grease isn't needed, really, but it's nice to have. Stream different games. Oh, I've definitely been working on it, Anthony. I've been working on streaming different games as best as I can. Um, I think for the most part, a lot of the early game, at least in terms of streaming, has been establishing. And I don't know if this is 100% true or not, but I do believe it to be relatively true that you do want to establish a community before you move past getting a community going. So that's kind of been a big thing. So I guess I'll be chugging this flask. It's not really needed on this fight, but it is nice to have, especially considering the fight that we're about to go up on. Alright, there we go. Let me chug this real quickly. This adds to our strength and gives us a higher damage bonus when it comes to charge attacks, but we're not going to be doing charge attacks early on. For the most part, we're going to be relying off of one thing and one thing only. That is this damage thickums attack right here. Love to see it. Love to see it. And that, my friends, is a very easy boss done very easily. Now at this point, now that we've cleared that boss, we can go on over to probably, I imagine we could probably go to Fort Faroth and Caelid. And from there, well, we'll be making some really pretty strong distances. So, actually, let me go to Liurnia first. We might have enough runes at this point to get our stones and upgrade this sword enough. We do need to go to Caelid regardless, because it does host one of the more important items towards our run, but we probably don't need it right now, realistically. Pac-Man Xbox with lights. Buy something else. Gotcha. Yeah, I think I saw that one in the Discord the other day, Anthony. It looked impressive. It looked very impressive. So, I don't think I'm personally going to buy it. I don't really have much of an affinity for Pac-Man by any chance, but it seems cool. So, definitely, I would say if you want it, I mean, go for it. There we go. Alright. So at this point, we're heading right into Liurnia. This is going to cover a couple different matters that we need to handle kind of in advance. We don't technically need to do it, but it's nice to do. So, yo, Jojo, how are you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. I'm doing pretty good, bud. We're just doing a casual speed run today because, well, I don't have a lot of time today. I figured it'd be fun. Did they make it so when you do the weapon swap, it cancels the speed boost? It feels like that might be the case. Or maybe not canceling the speed boost, but it definitely does something there. I don't know. I might be over-collecting mushrooms too, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. That's fine. It's not that deep. Now, technically, there's 2 ways down from here, but I'm not going to worry about it, because we don't need the second way down, technically speaking. There we go. Make those. And we're going to keep on pushing along here. I might make blood grease for the Godskin Noble fight, because when we get to Renala, officially we'll be able to go and get our plus 5, 6, and 7, kind of. Godskin Noble blocks us at 7, but at that point it doesn't really matter, because if we go to Caelid, we get the 8, 9, and then we're literally doing late game damage very early game. So, it is one thing I really appreciate about this game. If you really want this game to go fast, you can make it go, honestly, very fast. Even without glitches and whatnot, this game has a lot of opportunity to go insanely fast. It's great. I'm very fond of it. Alright. So at this point, we're just heading right on over to a teleporter that's right over here. Before, I was going a different way, but I kind of realized after a couple runs that this is just the faster teleporter all around. So we pretty much just do this one now instead, because it's just better. The only thing I'd say I'm not quite used to yet is where the teleporter is, so gotta make do with what I can. I'm gonna drink real quickly. Okay, Connor. No worries, buddy. please take good care of yourself and have a great rest of your day. Okay? It was great seeing you, bud. Alright, there we go. Grab that. Run over here. Hop on down. I'm gonna go after Iji first, probably, because Iji is just faster as a whole. Plus, I mean, getting the weapon upgraded is ultimately gonna mean that we don't have to worry about wasting any of our runes. Because when we go after the key to get to Renala, well, at that point, then we're probably gonna have to do a sack for runes. Because the dragon does usually activate, and it is a problem, so... I see. That's fair. That's fair, Anthony. I'm definitely more of a console player myself. I run on PlayStation consoles almost exclusively, for the most part. So yeah, I get that sentiment. I know you can technically alter PC games to run with controls for the most part, save for like VR games and shit. But VR games are VR games, you know. So now, if we do everything correctly here, we won't have to come back and see this man at all. Actually, let me go ahead and see what my highest rune value is. Okay, cool. This is going to cost a fair amount because the first one we need is the 6k, and that's pretty expensive. So we might be short here on runes. We'll see. Might actually have to sit and come back to this place. I am not sure. I'm not really fond of that idea, but I would like to avoid it if I can. Yep, I am indeed tarnished. Thank you very much. Let's get along with this business. Okay, we got the one. I need this one right here. We're already too poor. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back here. Okay, fair enough. Well, I guess we'll get this Site of Grace and then we'll come back. I guess that means let's go here. And let's go after the key. There's a couple more runes that we can pick up right around the same area that we were just at, so we'll pick up the runes and kind of make the difference up. At some point here, I need to sit down at a Site of Grace so we can go to the Table of Lost Grace. That'll help us do a multitude of things, including, but not limited to, getting our weapon buffs applied for the run. Now, realistically, we don't kill Grail for the run because Grail is not that important. But it is nice to have a fat stackum of like 90k runes right off the bat in the game. So it might be worth doing still. I'm not sure. But we'll think about it. So now at this point we go for the key to enter the Caria Academy. Oh yeah, no actually Anthony, I am going to be playing a new game soon. I've been kind of talking about it a little bit more and more. But we're going to probably be doing Pokemon Violet soon. Specifically Violet because that is the copy I have. But we're probably going to be running through that, and I'm probably going to be having subscribers named Pokemon. So it should be fun. There we go. Now, Dragon activating doesn't technically matter that deeply, so we don't really worry about it. Yeah, because as you can see, you can just warp away. I think because we didn't see the health bar show up for the dragon, I might have been able to just bounce out of there, but it's fine. It's not that deep. Not really, Anthony. The main reason is because when we have these setups, his is definitely more set up for it. I would love to have him over, but honestly, it's just, I don't know. Call it self-conscious. But I get a little self-conscious when it comes to having someone over to see the setup here, because it's like, it's a bit crusty. I will not lie. It's another reason I don't have cam on, honestly. It's just, I would rather have somebody over once the setup is more than adequate enough. Alright, let's pop these real quickly. I don't need to do this yet, but it's nice to have the dagger available as opposed to later. I think I technically have to run back here anyways for another one of these. But I'm not going to worry about it. Anyways, Third Church America. Well, Spy has Spy has like a really good setup for the most part, is what I would definitely say. It's very well set up. He's had years to kind of build upon it, and I'm a little bit behind the curve. But I mean, I'll catch up there once I have the time for it. So, but till then, it'll be probably faceless streams, honestly. I will need blood grease here. It's probably important that I go ahead and get that set up now, as opposed to later. We're going to do that, and we're going to go ahead and do the pickled foul foot. There we go. That will make it so when we're melting through the dragon's health bar, we'll be doing a lot better damage, as opposed to very piss-poor damage. And at this point, I'm probably going to go ahead and just make the commitment. We're just going to kill Grail because it's, honestly, it's free money. It literally, there's no reason not to get all of that money that the big man offers, so we're just going to go and do it. It's time spent, but it's also not really time wasted. So, now ideally, we get past this dragon without it ever killing us, and we get to do it again today. Very nice. He didn't murder me. Love to see it. So I think they definitely did do something here, where basically if you start moving, or you swap weapons, it stops stops turret's momentum. It used to be that you could just swap weapons and the momentum would come back, but it's definitely different. Do I like the NFL? Do I have a favorite team? I wouldn't say I like the NFL necessarily, like it's fun and everything, but I guess if I had to have a team, it's just going to be the Ravens because, dang, it's home base kind of shit, you know? It's like, it's right around the corner. I should probably like them. I don't know. I used to be very into football, but I am not anymore. I used to play football, which is probably the main reason why I'm not very into it anymore. I don't know. Weird line of logic, I'm sure. But, yeah. So that's kind of me. Alright, here we go. Hop up here. And at this point, we can go ahead and start melting ourselves a big old dragon. What do you mean right around the Ravens? I mean that I live in Maryland. And Maryland is a stop away from Baltimore. And so, I mean, Baltimore Ravens, I guess. I know technically I could pick the I don't even know what they're called anymore, the Washington football players. I think that's what they're called. But I just don't care. I just don't care. Blood grease, and we start hacking. I only do the 4-hit combo here because, honestly, it is just so much faster to just do the 4-hit as opposed to doing the full hit. If you do the full hit, it takes too much effort, and it is not worth the time. Washington Commanders? Oof. I know they had to change the name, but still, that is just, ugh, I don't know. That's not a great name. I think the other thing of it, too, is it would probably feel better if it had just been a natural change, but the fact that they asked and had to do it that way, like, they had to do it. Don't get me wrong. But it's sort of like scolding a child for doing something stupid, and then right afterwards, the child immediately does something that's better than the stupid thing they just did. Like, it's like, okay, come on, I know you're doing this because... It's not a conscious choice effort that you've made here. It's just you doing this because you messed up. All right, reapply blood grease. We don't need blood grease for much about anything else. Maybe Godskin Noble fight, but it's really not that deep. Honestly, the blood grease really speeds this shit up. It can honestly take a long time for this to happen if you do it without the blood grease. The only problem here is that stamina regen is kind of dependent on whether or not we have an offhand weapon, and unfortunately we do not have that availability because I did not think that through. So we'll take what we can get. There we go. And this basically just circumvents a shit ton of costs that we need to worry about, so it's just really good to do. That's all it is. Unfortunate that the dragon would still have, honestly, a fair amount of chunk left over on its health bar, but it is what it is. Ideally, I think the dragon will probably just die from natural causes at this point, but we'll just live with what we can get. That's not really worth it. Let's just go for the final bleed proc. It's not worth it otherwise. As you can see, the stamina seems to recover just honestly faster if you just go ahead and do it that way. It's definitely important to do what you can to recover stamina as fast as possible. Now at this point we need to make a couple different stops here. I was going to say, that seemed like a little bit less than usual on the runes, but we got away with it anyway, so we're good. Now at this point we want to go ahead and boost our stats up at least a fair amount in different ways. I need 15 here. I also need to get some endurance going and some mind going, as well as some vigor. That should be about everything that we need for right now. Now we can use our weapon of the run. Now, we're going to be doing some running around before we come back here to the fort, pick up our Dectus plate, as well as one very important item. Well, we may not pick it up. We'll see. It's a pretty strong item, honestly, especially considering the offset just does not balance it that well. But it's definitely something to consider. So, there we go. Get those off our hotbar because we no longer need that shit there. Love to see it. Now we're going to go make a couple different stops here, and it is important that we make all of these stops, otherwise we will be griefing ourselves immeasurably. There we go. Got to pick up this bow in advance. It is important. Spies Discord, bet I'll like it looks. I mean, I'll probably like how it looks, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Feel free to ping me on that one, for sure, Anthony. I mean, I'm definitely probably going to like it. Alright, there we go. Those are the only two items that we need here. Now we can go ahead and make our way downtown, walking fast. Faces will probably not pass, but we'll get there either way. Doesn't matter. Actually, you know what? I want the bow in the offhand here, because if it's in the offhand, then we can swap to what we need to take care of. Okay, cool. We got the shot. Now at this point, what we do here is we run on over here. He gave us bad pull, but it is what it is. Okay. Wow, that was actually really bad RNG. Normally, he should go towards a much smoother cliff to fall off of, but, I mean... Oh well. It is what it is. Alright, there we go. And that should be about the last time we need the bow for this run. Very nice. Do I have a Discord? Oh yeah, no, I do have a Discord. And Anthony, I don't remember if you... No, well, I guess you probably haven't joined it, if you're asking. The link is right in the description for the live stream. So you can pick it up from right there if you want to join the Discord. I should probably ask Spy and see if he would let me just drop a link sometime in his Discord, I guess. In case, I don't know, fucking Sethius or anybody else wants to join, but... Yeah, I should probably consider that. I don't know. There we go. Now, this point, we technically really don't need to do anything else here. I'm going after, like, one more thing here. And I guess, technically speaking, I don't really need it yet. So I'm probably just going to ignore it, get the Sight of Grace, and we're going to move along with our day. Because I do need to go ahead and go back to EG, talk to him for a big minute, and get the other stuff he offers. So... There we go. Okay, now I should be almost on time for this. Let's see here, 2K. Okay, that should be enough to cover the cost. I believe it's 7K between the 3 and the 4, or 3 and the 2. There we go, there we go. That is everything there. I am now poor, but that's okay, because we can make up the difference with one of these. I probably should have popped that in advance, but it's really, I guess it's not that deep, honestly. Anyways, get this bad boy up to a +4. That's still not, oh my god. Costs. Everything's expensive. Like, mention your Discord. Oh, I'm sure he'll be fine with it. I just haven't thought about it before, honestly. It just now, like, mentioning it crossed my mind, so. Alright, now we go back to the Table of Lost Grace. And we take care of a couple more different things that we need to take care of. First thing I'm going to do here is probably go talk to my man's Hugh. That way we can get a secondary weapon properly equipped with what we need it to have. There we go. Strength and armament. Actually, Ashes of War. Dagger needs Golden Vow. There we go. And that should be about it for right now, actually. Oh, that reminds me. The reason we went to Caelid was for the incantation, which we don't quite have enough runes yet for. Well, I mean, we have the faith for it. We could make it happen. Yeah, no, I don't see why not. I still need to go back to, actually, for Caelid, Fort Faroth. That'll need to happen at some point here. Anyways, here's our big boy weapon. Purchase a couple more things from this witch. We need this right here. I still need 2k. Do I have at least 2k chilling in my inventory? Yes, I do. Wonderful. Alright, 1200, 800, 400. 400 covers the cost. Love to see it. We need a stone sword key. I believe it's... No, I don't think it's 2k, is it? Is it not 2k? It is 4k. Shit. Expensive. Everything in this game. Expensive. See, obviously, you can see right here that my routing sort of falls apart. But it is what it is. It's fine. Okay, that did not need to be as much as I just spent, but it's fine. It's okay, guys. We'll live with the consequences. Scimitar is inexpensive. That'll be useful for a later investment. But for right now, we need to head back to Fort Faroth so we can cover some shit. Alrighty. I wonder... I mean, I don't know if I do this for myself necessarily, or if I do this for actually describing the run, but I definitely feel like I over-talk the run sometimes. Maybe just a little too much in terms of explaining my thinking. Maybe I'm talking out loud to compartmentalize or some shit, but I don't know. Anywho. So now we're going to be heading up here to get the deck display, and then one other item that is important, but won't be important for a while. But it is important to get. Alright, pick this up real quickly. Run over here, hop on down this way. Unfortunately, we can't really do a drop cancel there without it being on a specific ledge, but it is what it is. It's fine. It's not that deep. I don't need to run over here and get this rune, but it is nice to have extra cash on hand, especially with how fun this run can just be sometimes. There we go. Pick this up, hit it with a quick Sight of Grace, warp on out of there. That item right there gives us +5 to all physical-based stats, so in this case, health, endurance, strength, dex, stuff like that, and the negative of it is that we essentially just take more damage, which is not as bad of a trade early game as it could be. It definitely is actually very, very fortuitous to have that early game, because, I mean, I think it's like a 10-15% damage increase, if I'm not mistaken. And it gives you like 20 stats, I believe. Maybe 25, I'm blanking. But yeah, it's a +5 to most major stat pools. So it's really, really good. And now we're going over here. Really, we only come here for one reason now at this point, because unfortunately they decided to nerf the ever-living shit out of my child, which is fair, but also it kind of hurts my feelings. Flame of the Red Mains is unfortunately nerfed into the dirt. They have made it very, very shitty when it comes to poise damage, which I get it, but I don't like it. Like a lot of the things in this game, I don't personally like it very much, but I get it, you know. Anyways, run behind these two big boys, pick this up real quickly. Run over here, go ahead and hit another warp. Ideally, we don't get hit, but, I mean, even if we get hit, it's not that deep. So, really, the objective there is just to get out of town. Dying does the same thing, so we don't need to worry about it. But on that note, we are pretty much ready for our first boss, I believe. So now we just need to go ahead and equip our shit and go on in there and decimate his life. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Oh, actually, while I'm here, let me go ahead and do this now. Because if I do this here, it's faster because we don't have to light a second Sight of Grace. Memorize this spell real quickly. That'll be good to go. Physique is all set, and we are pretty much ready otherwise. Love to see it. Okay. Now we need the talisman in our offhand. And that should be about everything that we need. Love to see it. Yeah, I do feel like I talk a lot on this run. Like, speedruns, I talk very, very frequently. I try to, I don't know, maybe it's a learned behavior. I do try to let my thoughts out, I guess, during these. And I don't know whether or not that's needed, but it is a lot to talk about, all at the same time. So this boss will honestly be incredibly straightforward for the most part, which reminds me, I need to go ahead and get this set up now before I completely forget about it later. Chug this. Luckily, no one followed us to the gate, so we don't have to stress over that. Hit it with one of these. Go ahead and re-top off. There we go. And now we can run in there and decimate a boss. Beautiful. He didn't do the one thing I kind of wanted him to do there, which is fine. Oh, wow. He just gave me very shitty... Huh. I mean, that's completely fair, but still. Not a great fight. I gotta say, not great. But it is what it is. And he's dead. Alright, well, that's Margit. Margit definitely took more effort than I'd really like to give him credit for, but it is what it is. It's fine. Now, we do want this side of Grace here, because we are going to be coming back here at some point or another. Really, our goal is probably heading towards, I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but it's fine. Hey there, Adam. Welcome to the chat, buddy. Alright, let's see here. I don't really need anything there. Let's talk to our boy, Gostok here. Alright, Gostok. Yep, I'm done talking to you, big boy. There we go. Alright, so we always get the main gate because it's honestly just so much faster just doing this as opposed to anything else. And what can I say other than I just like using the gate? I would rather use the gate every single time. But at this point, we can ignore that, head over here to South Raya, and we're going to be heading towards Mount Gelmir to go ahead and clear some later game bullshit almost immediately. Now, while I'm at it, let me go ahead and get a quick bit of leveling done. 1 point into Vigor, which is important, but not that important. So we do Radagon Source Seal here because that is just a very useful thing to have. And let's head towards Mount Gelmir. Oh, my bad. My bad, Adam. It's Adas? My bad, Adas. Or Das. Jesus. Speaking, not my best quality. I could work on it a little bit. Anyways. It's really not important to hop on Torrent there, for what I can understand. It just doesn't do that much, but I don't know. It depends on the person, I would say. Now, because of how the routing on this works right now, of how I've done things so far, we do not need to go out of our way to go pick up the extra bit of gear that we would normally get for the Raya Lucaria set. It's not needed on this run. Okay, wow, we got sniped. Love to see it. There is a faster method here, I do believe, where we basically just save quit here, but it's not needed. It really falls into the category of, I don't need to do that. So, just Adam is fine. Okay, nice, man. Wow, you're grinding out those new games, aren't you? That's crazy, man. Nice. Yeah, I don't know why. I've just never been very into the whole New Game Plus mechanic of these games. I think it's cool. It just, I don't do it myself, personally. Really? I've never gotten grabbed there. Wow, that's kind of shitty RNG. Well, oh well, it's fine. We die in a couple seconds anyways because we have the... Oh, well that's not great. We're not supposed to get that kind of shit. Ugh. Oh well, it's fine. This has not been a super clean run anyways today, so I'm not going to worry about it. Good news, didn't get dog. So we'll be getting the Site of Grace here, but then we're running right back out to go get ourselves nicely harikiri'd by the beautiful virgin that is down at the bottom of that well. We want to go and do that. It's definitely important to get to Mount Gelmir sooner than later, because the power scaling becomes dummy thickums if you die sooner than later. So it's definitely worth doing. I believe... Yeah! I don't know how that little trick there works, but I love doing it every single time I get it. You just kind of get the right clipping there, and your character just locks right in. That's great. Now, if we were really tech-savvy here... This feels slower than usual. If we were really tech-savvy here, we would have done some extra little bullshit that would have made it a lot faster to come down here, but it's really not that deep. Nice! Okay. Honestly, immediate grab is definitely pretty good. Okay, I was a little worried there. It ticks only up to a certain amount, even if you mash. It will always tick to a certain amount, and really the only thing you reduce is just the amount of damage you take. Which can be a little scary, especially considering if you get an incorrect amount of health there. That is not what I meant to do. I meant to two-hand this damn dagger. That's not great. Okay, whatever. I think rolling here is slower than backstepping, but I'm not really that confident in either answer, so whatever. That's fine. Alright. So I hope everyone really likes Godskin Noble as a fight, because it is probably going to be dying relatively quick. If we do everything correct, there really won't be a livelihood for this boss anymore. It'll just kind of go very, very fast. Which is good. It's really good news. But we'll have to kind of see how that goes. Alright, there we go. God, I really wish they didn't do that to the stamina management. They made it so, unfortunately, the latest patch just doesn't allow you to crouch cancel anymore for stamina recovery, which is a little sad, if I'm being quite straightforward about it. I really enjoyed the stamina canceling, and it's okay, I guess. But, I don't know. I might just honestly have to figure out how to depatch the game at some point, because I would like to play Elden Ring back when it was a much more busted masterpiece. I don't have to kill this guy, but it is important to kill him if you don't want to have a bad time. Which he is pretty much, by definition, a bad time. So we kill him, we get him out of our way, and we move along with our day. There we go. Now at this point, we have a bunch of little things to take care of right outside of this gate. I might not have enough here to take care of everything that I want to, but it is okay for the most part. There we go. Alright, let's make a relatively straightforward fight. Good RNG. Good RNG for the most part. Okay, that's okay. Break his back. So we go ahead and hit him with the sleeping pot here because we want him to go right back to bed. Because him being awake is honestly probably the biggest problem we could have. So we just go ahead and we bust his back out immediately. And this time we do take the crit, okay? Now, if all things go well here, which for the most part they have, he is a dead boss. Love to see it. I will say, I don't think we had to get hit there, but it's fine. It's okay. So far making pretty good pace. Now we can go and get ourselves the item that we need to essentially really make ourselves way dummy thick for the rest of the run. And yeah, like, we'll just be doing outright absurd damage. We'll knock out our rune bosses, it won't even be a problem, and we'll be making mad distance very quickly. So now, time for us to go after the one fucking 7 Somber Stone that they have early game-ish. It's really ridiculous. They made the Somber 7 in this game like a rare commodity, and I do love it, because it is kind of funny at this point, community-wise, but it's goofy. I don't know what to think about it anymore, man. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, it was a clean fight for the most part. It could have maybe been, like, a little bit cleaner, realistically, but I take what I can get at this point. So. And by the way, folks, if you do like what you're seeing here today, if you are enjoying the stream so far, please be sure to leave a like. It really does help me out a ton, honestly. Alright, there we go. Run past this snaky boy. Hop there because it's a little too risky to do it otherwise. And we rolled there. We don't technically have to roll that, but I've definitely gotten sniped by that guy a couple too many times for it to be worth the risk, realistically. So at this point, we are going after one thing and one thing only, and that is a +7 Somber Stone. It's very useful to have if we can get it this early in the game, and if we do everything correctly here, we pretty much just get to go level our weapon up to a +9 immediately. Like, it's stupid thick damage right at the beginning of the game. Technically could have done this even before Margit, but Margit's kind of... He doesn't have enough health to make him a genuine problem for the most part, so we just kind of ignore it. Okay, thank God. Got away with it there. I was a little scared, but not scared enough, clearly. Alright, there we go. Hop around these lads. Probably the only thing that's kind of scary here is what's right in front of us right now, but for the most part, good RNG is good RNG, so we just kind of get away with it. Now at this point, it doesn't matter. Run down here real quickly, just to go ahead and de-aggro that enemy. The minute it de-aggros, we can warp out of here, and we can go level our weapon up. Nice. And let's go talk to Hugh. Probably need at least one more rune real quickly. So I'm going to go and pop the big boy rune, just to go ahead and cover any expenses. We want it out of our way and done, so we don't want to think about it ever again. Yes, sir. Nope. There we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Love to see it. +9 weapon right at the early game, and that was actually just enough runes too. That's good news. Alright, let's go back here. And, yeah, let's go kill Godric. I'm probably going to get the Side of Grace on the way to Godric, because it is nice to have, for what it's worth. I think they removed one little mechanic here, and it's not that deep personally, but it is a little sad if they did remove it. It's the mechanic to essentially doing, like, hopping jumps. If you jump against stairs while blocking and jumping at the same time, you move significantly faster upstairs, for the most part at least. Like, it's definitely a time save if you continuously do it, so it's really, really good. But I think they might have nerfed it or removed it, because it used to be that you could pretty much do it consistently, and really the trick of it is that you just get very good, like you get your max running speed jumps immediately as opposed to having to wait. Wait for the build-up jumps. Alright, let's recover stamina on these stairs because we are about to enter kind of a bullshit area. Luckily we got good RNG there, it rolled us the right way. Good physics, love to see it. Maybe they didn't remove it. Maybe it just looks weird. I don't know. No, it's still there. Okay. I don't know. Certain things in Elden Ring, I can't fully trust whether or not they patch things at certain times, unless I'm reading the patch notes anymore. So, I mean, it's fine. It is what it is, but still. Get the Side of Grace real quickly, only to make sure that if anything rushes in this room and we die, we don't have to worry about death. Get this. I don't have to deal with this situation here, but it is kind of like something I have to deal with regardless. Oh, good. He, grieved miserably. Alright, sir, don't mind me. I'm just gonna pull this elevator lever real quickly. You know, honestly, kind of funny that he would fuck with me like this, but it is what it is. Okay, one final hit. He felt a little cocky, so he felt like getting the last hit in. Understandable. Makes perfect sense. Alrighty. So now we have the next boss in line, Godric. Godric is realistically kind of a joke. He does not prove much of a challenge at all once you know what you're doing against this man. Now, he can get away with it randomly. Like, if he wants to get away with it, he will get away with it. But, that being said, it's not likely every single time. So, we do what we can, we murder the boss, and we move along with our day. And we get another Great Rune. This flask doesn't really prove that valuable on this run for the most part. Unfortunate that he would actually do that. I'm a little surprised. Okay, so that did a shit ton of damage. Nice. And he's dead. We do a quick save quit here because instead of listening to Big Man talk about himself for a couple seconds, we do the save quit to go ahead and just basically move him right past that dialogue. This saves in-game time, and this also saves you perfect moments of consciousness. So we walk in the boss fight. Wouldn't you know it, he's dead. He gives us the Great Rune because he was very impressed by our quick save, and we head right over to Limgrave Tower. The talking. Now we want to go ahead and make our way downtown real quickly here to go pick up his Great Rune. Great Rune is basically... gosh, I'm forgetting how many stats there are, but basically it's 5 to every stat. This is dummy thick, especially considering early on in the game, you don't have a lot of those. And on top of that, it's just ridiculously good. They set this bridge up pretty well to be kind of obnoxious, honestly. It's a little impressive. I will give them credit where credit's due. It is fairly obnoxious to get across this bridge without taking any hits. So, one thing I won't probably be able to get here because it's kind of hard. Okay, never mind, I did get it. You can jump the seismic blast that those arrows have and just completely ignore whether or not they're going to hit you. Which is nice. Nice little tech if you never knew about it. I figured that out, gosh, maybe about like 5 or 6 runs ago, roughly, through the game. Just happened one single time. I was like, holy shit, I did not know you could do that. Yet again, Elden Ring continues to teach me something even with a sadly large amount of hours into this game. I do love that this game continuously teaches me, though. It is really, really good. It's a lot of fun, and the game just constantly gives you new things to learn. It's fun. It's super. Do I have... I mean, I guess I could do more sleeping pots now just to get that covered. That'll cover something later on that's fairly important to take care of, but, you know, we don't need to worry about it now. Which reminds me, we are almost barely an hour through the game, which means that we will soon be at Renala, which means we'll soon be at Dragon Sentinel into Leyndell. Leyndell is really fast, actually, like insanely fast. You literally, you go through it, you just go kill Godfrey and Morgott, and that's it. Yo, Simply, how you doing today, buddy? Good to see ya. Schoolhouse Classroom, there we go. We're gonna head over to the Schoolhouse Classroom and go cover some shit. Is pretty much what we're doing right now. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I do want to keep two-handing this weapon because it is important to have it two-handed. It's gonna allow us to do a lot of really nice jumps upstairs. And the good news is we have some stamina too on this run, so we're not down bad by any means whatsoever. Okay, good, didn't get the shitty angle there. Hit it with this. Hit it with this. Just got done killing Ludwig. Yo, what? Oh, that's nice, man. You're making some pretty good progress through Bloodborne, then. That's awesome. I'm doing pretty good. I am doing pretty good. There we go. That is Radagon's Red Wolf put down. Oh my god. Poor Radagon's Red Wolf. Oh, that poor puppy. He didn't know what was coming, man. He did not know. Alright, I would say at this point we could probably just start pumping just what we need, which is probably going to be a mix of endurance and health. The endurance is nice because we're going to be able to wear heavier armor sets. I'll probably go and swap out one piece of my armor set right now so we can have better defenses. There we go. But yeah, no, I'm doing pretty good today, bud. I'm doing pretty good. We're just having a good old chill speedrun kind of day. Probably see how far we can take it within the next hour here, roughly. And then from there, I imagine that'll probably be it for the day, but, you know, pretty good. Hey there, Titan. How you doing today, buddy? Good to see you. Hop up these stairs. Nice. Love to see it. Alrighty, everybody's favorite moron. He loves to run right at us. We didn't get the jump, unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, there we go. Wow, he got pretty close to killing me. That's a little unfortunate. There we go. Alright, we're going to open the door here. I'm probably going to activate one of my buffs during this fight, but I'm not going to pour my whole load out on it. This fight is definitely... How many attempts did I do so far? I would say a fair few, roughly, Lorenz. I usually keep it right in the title, but it depends on which run I'm kind of doing. I know some of the speedrun nights I've done multiple attempts on the same part, I guess. But I would say I'm probably up to like maybe 10 or 15 speedruns total at this point. Excuse me. No. Don't burn my ankles. I didn't give you permission. Alright, there we go. Chug this real quickly. We only have so much time during this part to buff up properly, so we do what we can, as opposed to wasting all our time on everything. Unfortunate that we'd missed that attack, but it is what it is. So, unfortunately, she does this moon here to make sure that you can't get in close to her, which is a bit of an L, but it's okay. We can get away with it, it doesn't matter. Now, unfortunately, she summons a fucking Bloodhound Knight, which is terrible RNG. This fight can be fair to you, if it wants to be, but it's a matter of if she's gonna be fair. Okay, cool. We got away with it anyways. Do I have any runes to pop? Kind of, but it's nothing really worth popping. We'll pop it anyways, because it's just wasting inventory. There we go. Fun fact, you cannot save quit this fight right here. Regardless, after you've done the fight, you have to wait for the cutscene to play through. So you really want to find stuff to waste that time on. Otherwise, you are going to be wasting a lot more time. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, Titan. It's pretty darn crazy. It's really wild to think how far we've kind of come in this meantime. It's something special. I'm really happy about it. I guess at this point, start getting some more damage. Probably. Not the worst idea in the world. We don't technically need it for the most part, but it is nice to have. So. No, Titan, you did not say that. That's awesome, bud. Nice. I hope it is a very good gaming PC. I hope you have a lot of fun with it. I'm not much of a snob on that kind of stuff, so I don't really know my gaming PCs too well. But I hope it runs very well, and I hope you get to play all the games on it, buddy. Good to hear. Glad you got the good RNG for Christmas. Nice. I'm glad to hear, man. Alright, so I am going to run through this little building right over here real quickly. There is a tier available to us, and we don't really get a lot of restoration items on this run, so we get what we can, and obviously that is one of the items to get. I have started making this run a little bit more risky by just running right up to the front gate. It seems not the best plan in the world, but it's honestly, you got to do what you can. And on this run, it's definitely a lot of risk. So, all right, start tapping. I started streaming 69 minutes ago. Yo, poggers. I don't feel good saying that. That's not my favorite thing to say in the world, honestly. Ugh. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right, so next thing that we need to take care of at this point is we need to probably go take care of Queen Gillica. Gillica is a pretty straightforward boss fight. We need to take care of her, though, so that way we can get probably one of the better talismans in the game. It is a 10% damage boost, just for having full health. And it's a speedrun, so we should be having pretty full health most of the time, realistically. Or not getting hit most of the time. Alright, there we go. Turn immediately to the left, and then we can head right on over to Gillica and go take care of that fight. And yeah, we'll be really, really good. Golden even. Routing-wise, I'm not sure if I should include the one side of Grace that's right there. It would technically be a little bit faster to have the side of Grace to warp from, because moving from this direction over here is not the fastest, honestly. It's not terrible, it's just not fast. There we go. Run on down here. We're going to buff up just on 2 buffs, not full buff set, because it's just not worth it, honestly. And we go into the fight with reasonable expectations. So. Love to see it. And she's dead. Love to see it. Okay, and that is Queen Gillica put down, like the dirty, dirty dog she is. Love to see it. And there's our next talisman, which will be useful once we make it to the next boss. Roughly. Which our next boss in line, I believe, is going to be Dragon Sentinel. So, I don't think it's useful for Dragon Sentinel because we technically don't have the opportunity to get anything yet from that. But it's fine. We'll do what we can. We'll make the fight reasonable enough, and it'll work out. Alrighty. Actually, I think it's probably better to go this way. Okay, no worries, buddy. Have a good rest of your day, and please take care. Get those chores done. Best of luck to you on everything, okay, bud? Alright. There we go. Do I have my 3rd slot yet? No, I don't. I need to go back to... I mean, I would need to go back to Table of Lost Grace if I wanted to get the 3rd item slot for another talisman. But reasonably speaking, it's only so useful right now. It's good to have, but it's not necessary by any means. So, I would say we're fine for now. We'll live with what we got, and it'll work out, I'm sure. There we go. Actually, this feels like the pacing. Like, I don't think we need to stack the motions up. I think we just have to essentially waste our stamina bar, hit it twice, keep running. Yeah, okay, this is looking much more reasonable. Okay, yeah, that's looking a lot better in terms of running speed. Alright, cool. So Dragon Sentinel can be difficult, is what I would say. It definitely used to be that it was the first boss of the game that really gave a lot of players like a shit ton of troubles, but it can be a very reasonable fight if you've dealt with any of the Horse Knights. Don't know why I missed that seed, but I did. So, a little goofy. That being said, we have a +9 Dragon's Fang right now. I'm sorry, Bloodhound Fang. And we should not be messing up for anything. Realistically. This is probably the slowest part of the capital, though. It's just a lot of running to get to one spot to go deal with a bunch of shit inside the capital. Because, I mean, I'm not sure if this is the case, but I think they might have made multiple ways to get into the capital. I just only know of the one, realistically. I never knew of any others, so it is what it is. Plus, they close off the one main gate to make sure that nobody gets in. It's like, yeah, fair enough. Okay. But yeah, folks. I guess in the meantime, while we're running here, I do hope everyone's taking really good care of themselves. I know, honestly, whenever it comes to holiday season, it gets really busy, gets really tiresome, realistically. And I just hope you're all taking really good care of yourselves and resting as you need to. Honestly, it's definitely important to do so as best as you can. So, but yeah, we are nearing our next major boss in the run, Dragon Sentinel. Dragon Sentinel should honestly be pretty straightforward for the most part. I don't really see it being a major challenge. The only thing I can say is that the boss can just outright decimate a health bar if it chooses to, and sometimes it chooses to. Sometimes it very well chooses to. The other thing too is that these little lads, I don't think I've ever gotten counter hit on that. Holy shit. Wait, did that just actually... Did I get the Statue of America there? Oh. I got one Statue of America. I didn't realize they put one right before this field. Holy shit. I think I got counter damage there. I don't think I've ever outright been, like, fully decimated by the Golem Knights. But today's my lucky day, I guess. See something new. Oh my god, they just annihilated my health bar like it was fucking paper mache. Good for them. Good for them, man. They need it. They needed it. Trust me. Alright, full buff. Since, I mean, honestly, this is nice because now we have our full flask again, so full, what you call it? Full mana bar. We don't have to worry about that as much anymore. That's nice. Big meaty chunk. Run between his legs. Big meaty chunk. As you can see, the big meaty chunks are really big and meaty. They do a lot of damage. It's very nice. So ideally, if you get really good luck there, you don't have to move at all. Okay, actually pretty good luck here. There we go. Big slam. That slightly scared me there. Won't lie. Okay, he hit me with Fireball. Unfortunate. I'm just going to go ahead and play this kind of safe for the most part. Are you... Wow, he really is just giving the piss poor RNG. Huh. I mean, I get it, but still. Fucking Dragon Sentinel. What a cool guy. Sometimes he dishes out some of the worst RNG possible, and I do mildly appreciate it. It's a little goofy sometimes. So... we take what we can get. Alrighty. There we go. Sit at the site of grace real quickly. Upgrade our flask a couple more times real quickly. There we go. Weirdly enough, they made circle... Like, normally circle's like a cancel option. They made it so it doesn't work the same way. Which is, I guess, fine. But still, feels weird. That's only like maybe a half of a second faster doing that right there, but it's still worth doing. Just because running speed can be pretty bad sometimes. Huh. So we want the Site of Grace at Godfrey, but we don't really care past that point. Site of Grace at Godfrey is nice to have, not necessary. Especially considering the next boss is Morgott, but when we get to Morgott, that'll be straightforward enough, for the most part. Run up these stairs. When I have a chance here, I am going to go ahead and equip the Magic Grease, because while it isn't necessary by any means, it is extra damage. And extra damage is extra damage. So, Take what you can get. Now comes the fun run to the boss rush. It pretty much goes, you run to Godfrey and Morgat, you kill both bosses, and then you have to do another long run all the way over to and that's pretty much the theme here for the most part. It's not terrible, like it's really not, but it is a little slow at certain times, so you have to just kind of accept that it's going to be going your own pace. This may not have been the best place to drop for the most part, but we got away with it, so take what you can. I don't know what that item was, but I don't care. So, there we go. Hop over that fence real quickly. And then we're going to be getting the Sight of Grace that's pretty soon in front of us here. This is definitely one of the better ones if you need to make your way back from this area to go ahead and get So, I usually always jump there because I find it very often that one Tree Guardian will inevitably cut my ankles off, and that only goes so far as being funny. So we pretty much just cut that one off. We don't need that. No. These knights can be a little scary. I don't honestly know how that did so much fucking damage, but my god! Of course. Why not? Well. I guess let's try that again, but this time without the sucking part, shall we? Oh my god. No, but folks, I really do hope everyone's having a really good day today. Oh, that's why his RNG was different. That's why I died there. So, normally that one knight just goes for a simple strike on the ground. It seems today he changed his mind and decided to go for the fucking homing attack, which I wouldn't be surprised. It does seem like definitely a developer kind of move to make them do something different there. Whether or not they've done that as a permanent change to the enemy, I don't know. Oh well, it's fine. It is what it is. Alright, so this part right here, we do a little bit of covert sneaking. We don't like the one guy that's right on our booty butthole, so we go ahead and ignore him, and we move along with our day. Nice. This Sight of Grace here, I am going to get it because I'm feeling a very bit amount of friskiness in the game coding right now. So, yeah, we'll do what we can to survive a little better. Now, if we were really going for survivability, we would actually make a detour up onto this Colosseum up here. There's a particular item that's right up there that basically negates your first hit of damage by an absurd amount. It gives you a lot of defensive properties, but it's kind of slow, so we don't need it. There we go. Alrighty. I think we're making really, really good time, though. Honestly, like, I seriously believe that we're making very good time right now. But, I mean, yeah, that's usually how these runs go. It's a lot of really fun stuff, consistently fun. It's all about just kind of making things happen as best as you can, and making up for the consequences. Okay, so he didn't go for the one thing he usually always goes for. I think they changed the way that hits, because it feels like they did. There we go, big man hits. I got away with that, honestly, more than I thought I would. That's honestly about right for him. Not great RNG for the most part on this fight, but it's fine. I'm a little surprised that there was no stagger there. I guess it is what it is, but still. Good news is actually we have that Statue of America It pretty much negates the fight for the most part, so we don't have to really stress it that deeply. Alright, there we go. There's our third talisman pouch. Now we can go ahead and equip this bad boy, and we will be better off for the coming fight. Love to see it. I'm going to go ahead and sit at this side of Grace, I guess. It just recovers us pretty well, and we'll activate the next one, but it's not that deep. I mean, don't need much more of that. I will get some more health, because that is nice to have. And let's move along with our day. Nice. Alright, so, now comes Morgott. Morgott is what I like to call a consistent pain in my ass. The bastard has... I would definitely say he's probably one of the first major skill checks of the game in terms of bosses. Because he just... If he feels like he's done with you today, he is done with you today. That is about it. What was I going to do? I felt like I was going to equip something or change something about my inventory, but I kind of forgotten what. So I'm not going to worry about it that deeply. I'm going to get this side of Grace and probably sit at it, because I would like to not talk to the Black Knife. They are a bit obnoxious. Now this might trigger... Okay, good, it didn't trigger dialogue. Maybe they changed that. I'm not sure. Oh well. So how this fight's supposed to go, if we do it correctly, and unfortunately correctly means pretty good RNG, is that we get him to stagger, and then we do more damage to him than he can normally take, and then he tries to essentially do one attack that says, hey, get away from me, I'm ready to come. And when he comes, he doesn't get to come properly. He just fucking falls over on his ass, and he dies. Miserably. So then, we just bully him while he's literally dying, and that's about it. You just bully the old man before he can come. That's it. It sounds very straightforward, I know. Fun fact, he can't really throw the spear close enough. Okay, cool. Okay, no worries, buddy. Do what you gotta do. So unfortunately, the old man has come. And he also did the one attack that we like to see, but it's not better when we see it at this point in the run. Chug. Beautiful. My god, this attack is infinite! Please, sir, just go home! I don't think I've ever seen him do that one. Something new every day, my god. Morgott, you terrifying old bastard. He came, and he came with a vengeance, my god. Alright, so now at this point, we actually have to sit at this side of Grace, so that way we can talk to our favorite simp, Melina, who's going to give us exactly what we need to head on into the mountaintop of the giants. Something I have been speculating in terms of the lore of this game, for the most part. Melina is an interesting character, Ronnie is an interesting character, and then you also have Fia, who, if you're blanking on Fia right now, that is the person who's responsible for, like, the death route and whatnot, so real interested in death and blah 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 blah. Well, it seems to me that all three of these characters are relatively connected in some way or another, and whether or not that's true, it feels that that is the case because of how they all seemingly interconnect in one way or another in their plot lines. Ronnie, for instance. Ronnie, at a certain point, makes you go after the Death Rune to go ahead and progress her plotline, but it also works into Fia's plotline as well. Because after you're done collecting the Black Knife, I believe, you need to go collect the second part of the Death Rune in order to, one, help Ronnie out, but also, two, it helps Fia out in her plotline. It's interesting how they all sort of connect in one way or another, and I guess my running theory at this point is that we kind of relatively know that Radagon is essentially, he's the other part of, or so it's supposed to be, he's the other part of Marika, which is the queen, right? So why wouldn't it make sense if Marika could also be other elements as well? Like, she could just as easily be multiple characters. It's not just one. Now, what I think could also have happened is that she did devise this sort of plan to make multiple copies of herself to guarantee, regardless of what happened to her original state, she would make it through. But I think what happened was that after her original body essentially got fucking obliterated, realistically, by the Golden Order, I think her original body was like the control panel, and because she was gone, the other copies of her just basically said, I'm fucking off, I'm gonna go do what I want to do, and they all had relative ideas of what they wanted. Ronnie, for instance, belonged to the Raya Lucari Academy, but her mom was, technically speaking in this case, Renala. So why wouldn't it make sense that she would want to follow in a path that is very similar to Raya Lucaria? And one way or another, I think they all want to essentially diverge from the Golden Order, is the plot. But they all have their own individual goals, because after America dies, she's no longer there to say, hey, we're going to make this exact thing happen. So whether or not they all know it and they're all in cahoots to some extent with each other, I don't really know. But it does seem to me that that could be a relative possibility when it comes to the plot in this game. I'm not sure. But anyways, food for thought. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass right now, but it's, storyline, lore. If there's one thing about FromSoft lore, it's very speculative on what could and couldn't be. You could really piece together a lot of shit and just expect it all to kind of flow together, and it really do. Oh, that might be death. I won't lie, the depth perception there was not great. I definitely thought that the elevator was going right against the wall on our way down there, but it's fine. We lived. It doesn't matter. But yeah, let's go kill Fire Giant, I guess. Non-lore shit. I heard, and I don't know, chat, tell me if you feel this way. What do you think about Fire Giant? What do you think about Fire Giant as a whole, for a boss? Do you like Fire Giant? Do you hate Fire Giant? Is it a boss that gave you an absolute shit show of a time your first playthrough, or is it something that you had, like, a shit ton of fun with? I think for me, it ended up being, like, one of my favorite bosses in the game. It's not that it's particularly ingenuitive in difficulty or skill mechanics or anything like that, or even the mechanic. The gimmick of the fight isn't really anything. There is actually no gimmick for it, technically speaking. It's just that you fight a massive big boy like that, and it just kind of works. But aesthetically, super pleasing. Very pleased with it. The boss looks fucking goddamn metal. I love the fact that he literally... I think, if I'm not mistaken, we initially thought it was all like a sled, is what he was holding onto, or like a huge shield. He's not the best fight. He is absolutely not the best fight. You're absolutely right, Coco. I definitely could agree with that. Best fight award always goes to Godfrey at this point, hands down. Godfrey Horlu is such a... He is... such a good guy. I love that fight. Fuck. I could honestly, if I could, I would probably keep a save file on this console just to constantly play against him with different builds and different mechanics and blah, 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 blah. Every single time. He's just so good. But Fire Giant, I would have to give him maybe like top 10, maybe top 5. I'd give him 6, is what I would say. Actually, let me reconsider that number for a minute here on whether or not there's anybody that could replace that. Because I'm saying that 5 bosses could have replaced that. And that is a bit mini, if I'm being quite honest. I took the slow way. Here. Damn it. Okay. There we go. Hop up. Hop. By the way, how are we doing on time? Damn, minute 30. Okay, we're doing pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, let's see here. It is currently... Alright, it's 5:11 my time. We have actually still a fair amount of time, I would say. So we'll probably... I think we might be able to make it at least up to Malekith today. Yeah, I think we'll actually be making it to Malekith reasonably. Maybe even a little bit further than that. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I could have maybe done differently that would have saved better time, but, I mean, I guess going after Alexander was probably not necessary, but I don't know. I feel like the early game charm for the 15% to all Ash of War damage is pretty damn important. Unfortunately, there's nothing that really stacks with that in the same way, except for, like, obvious, just straightforward damage outputs, so... So let me think about this. Godfrey gets number 1, for sure. I would have to say Morgott is probably number 2. Morgott, I think, deserves number 2 for what it's worth for me, personally. Number 3, I'm gonna have to say probably... maybe Placidusax? I don't think Placidusax is one of the best fights in the game, but I think just aesthetically... everything about the boss is very well presented. Like, it is a gorgeous fight. Is it a hard fight? Not necessarily. It's got bullshit, and bullshit is not always fun, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty straightforward for the most part. Can't complain. Oh, there was a lily there. I guess I didn't really need it. Lilies aren't always necessary in these runs, so... This really is such a fucking long run, my god. I always forget how long this is. It is so long. It's really too bad certain glitches don't exist anymore, because we would have already probably been at Fire Giant by now if we had the Pegasus glitch, but oh well. Yeah, this is just the slow part. God damn. Placidusax is number 3. I would have to say Fire Giant is either my number 5 or my number 6. I'm not sure who goes into number 4. Probably Radagon and Elden Beast, weirdly enough. But I would have to say they get the 4 or 5. So we'll talk about that later though. So I don't know. Oh no, lobsters. No, lobsters are not my friend. Jesus Christ. Lobsters are not my friend. Fuck. Why is it everything in this game just fucking decimates health? I know they need to do that for scaling reasons and whatnot, but still, it just... oh, it hurts. Everything melts you. Literally everything. Oh, God. It's so vicious. It's so unfair. It's not unfair. It's just, I complain. That's all. I didn't need those. Alright. I think, if I remember correctly, what used to be, I should say, my least favorite boss was probably still Godskin. Yes, I did 007 Pipeline. I killed the lad. He had to die. Unfortunately, he is just too valuable not to outright murder. He is helping us greatly with the speedrun so far. He's been providing a lot of dammies. And I hope you're doing well today, by the way. Welcome to the chat, buddy. Yeah, exactly. 10% is better than 0%, and literally waiting till less than mid-game and doing his quest just to get the damn thing is not worth it. It is so not worth it. What is the difference? Like, I think it goes from 10% to, like, what, a 12% damage increase? And 12% is not worth it. I'm so glad I've never fucked around with the Massive Hand. It is not worth my time whatsoever. Ever. I don't care. Big Man Hand is just too scary for me. Okay. I feel like we're pretty good. 12 or 15%. That's what I thought. It's too bad too. I know they have to like nerf it to some extent to make it so it's like reasonable, but for the amount of shit you have to do to get his quest line kind of going, it's not even worth your time at that point, honestly. I'm gonna go ahead and just completely chug up because second phase we don't really need most of it. Second phase is just kind of more of a do it as best as you can and don't die. That's all it is. Okay, bad RNG. Love to see it. Understandable, sir. Okay, well, you know, I didn't really mean to break it immediately. Unfortunately, we whipped on that attack, but it is what it is. Always roll that. Don't need to die. Big man attacks. Love to see it. Okay, cool. That'll warp us, which is actually good right now, because that should mean we just outright avoid the bullshit. Oh, he's doing breath. That's not great. Oh well, breath attack is fine. It's not that scary. But this is the scary attack right here. Alright, cool. We got away with it. Love to see it. Big meaty attack. Into big meaty attack. Go ahead and apply another resin. Alright, he's gonna run away. Ideally, he does flame hands. If he just launches simple fireballs at us, we pretty much get away with it every time. Alright, cool. I could probably be a little bit better about my stamina management here, but it's fine. Okay, and that is a boss down. Love to see it. Alright, now, let's go ahead and get up to the top of the mountain and move on to the next boss, shall we? That was pretty clean, actually. That is probably by far one of my cleanest fights with the big man. So I'm very, very happy with that one. Just kidding, we need these. Love to see it. I am wondering if I should go out of my way to go get some more sleepy time shit, but I don't know. Maybe I don't need it. It wouldn't hurt. We could definitely go do it, and it wouldn't be the worst option in the world, especially considering how easy it is to just get the sleepy shit. Like, literally just need to warp back to Raya Lucaria Academy for a minute, so we could definitely do that. I don't know. Maybe we will. I don't really doubt my odds against Godskin Duo. It's just they can definitely go completely sideways. Why are there butterflies here? What the fuck? But, you know, again, dependent on the matter. So, we'll see. There we go. That was weird. I definitely thought I got the Site of Grace there, but okay, sure, why not? This is a weird Site of Grace. Not fond of it. Probably more health, a little bit more mind, I guess. It seems fine. Yeah, there we go. That's cool. Oh, you know what, actually, while I'm here, Great Rune. Literally had this thing on me the whole time. Talk to Melina. Go ahead and get Cosby'd.
This world and death.
Yep, let's get on with it. Yep, okay, alright. So, right here is when Melina, our favorite simp, decides to commit the cardinal sin of slipping some Xanax in our Jello Pop. We immediately get knocked the fuck out, and we don't know what happens for about probably the next day or two, realistically. Anyways, we wake up here, and that's about it. That's about it. And Melina is nowhere to be found because she's probably running from the cops at this point, all things considered. a bit of a fucked up lore moment, but we're also talking about lore that was probably provided by George R. Martin. You know, I'm wondering, does anybody have to say the full thing of George R. Martin every single time, or is it sort of like an incantation? You know, like you have to say the full thing every single time, otherwise it'll go sideways. I'm not sure, but I do like to believe that it's probably secretly a spell, and that's just how it functions. I don't know. We have a lot of endurance right now, and I'm very happy about that. I'm going to ignore that side of grace. It's nice to have, not necessary, but, you know, it's nice to have. That's really about it. Alright, there we go. And once we get to our next side of grace here, we'll probably go ahead and start doing a little bit of running around, just so that way we can start making some real quick moves. Yeah, fun fact about that dragon. While he slides in like that, I don't believe he has much of a hitbox on him at all, so you don't really get hit by him when he comes in. He slides in. That's it. That's literally all there is to him. Alright, go ahead and activate the Site of Grace. We're going to go get out of here real quickly. Head on over to Ryalakari Academy just to go ahead and guarantee that we have everything we need for the coming fight. This isn't necessary, but this is, you know, some safety peach strats if you want to do that. I'm doing it because it just makes my life easier, realistically. Plus, when they literally give this to you as free as it is, it's just, why wouldn't you? That's really all it is. Could have had these stats for a while now. Don't know why I didn't do this sooner. Like, damn, that is meaty. That is a meaty bar right there. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Couple different things that we get from this little location over here, though. We get a couple more Trinas lilies. We also get a recipe book for a better, just a more frequent set of arrows if we want to. But we also get a handful of St. Trina's arrows, which is just juicy. Like, 20 is pretty damn good. Buy that, buy that. I don't really need these boys, but they are useful in their own right, so we go ahead and buy it here. And that should pretty much be about all we need from him. Now, at this point, we should pretty much just head right back to the boss and just make our move. So, yeah, that's about it. Right, I forgot, there is no horse riding in this location. It is all just downhill from here. In a quite literal sense, it is actually all downhill from here. Why did I make that jump the way that I did? I don't know why. It wasn't great. Alright, there we go. We might be able to wear the full set of D, actually, at this point. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's 100% needed, but it is nice to consider. I'm not sure. Maybe we will. We'll see. That's not technically safer. Huh. It might actually just be safer to jump across. Fair enough. Okay. I would say what we have in terms of setup right now, we're pretty much golden for the rest of the game. We shouldn't need anything else. The only other thing we technically get on this run is the, I'm forgetting what it's called right now, but it is definitely useful to get. So instead of getting this side of Grace, we're going to head right down here, and we're just going to move right towards our actual main side of Grace. That's a bit risky, but, it's probably fine. We'll probably live, I imagine. I don't know if they made those guys slower, but I've gotten pretty lucky on that RNG for the last couple of times here. They've been much less awful to me, which is nice. It's a little bit of a benefit. It's good stuff. I think at this point we should have all 4 of our talisman slots, so I think what I need to do right now is I'm going to sit down here and we're going to head back to the table of Roundhold, because we definitely want to go ahead and pick up our final talisman slot if I have it. I don't think I need it per se right now. Oh yeah, well, it's extra damage is what it is. So let's go ahead and get it equipped. There we go, final slot, there we go, and that should be it for the run. There we go, cool. There might be a faster way of moving across the map like this, but I am not the best at everything, so it is what it is. I don't have anything to craft bleed. That's fine. That's okay. So ideally on this fight, we pretty much toss a pot right about here. And that should put at least one of these boys to sleep. Never mind, it didn't. Okay, ideally, yeah, there we go. Love to see it. Put both boys to sleep. Get these equipped now, so that way in advance we don't have to worry about it later. But yeah, now we start hacking away at these boys. Love to see it. Get one final hit in there before he completely disappears. Go ahead and start working on this boy. Love to see it. Big meaty hit. And one more big meaty hit for the road. Alright, so at this point, one of them is going to spawn in right about here. Never trust those hits for what it's worth, because it's just a little too scary to trust these bosses. But yeah, because of how this fight works, they have to summon each other in, so we pretty much just get to bully the one without having to worry about the other. And that, my friends, is a Godskin duo done pretty damn well. Nice. We're going to get the Site of Grace real quickly and get some levels. And yeah, then we move along with our day. So at this point, I think really what we want is pretty much just strength. We just want more stats. That's really it. Arcane wouldn't be a bad option. It would help our bleed procs a little bit better, but we don't need it per se. It's just nice to have. That's all. Alright, ignore that boy behind us because he is there, but he is not important. Same with the dog. It's annoying to have them around, sure, but it's not terrible. Like, they can't usually keep up well enough to make a difference in your life, so don't worry about it. There we go. This run is feeling pretty good, though. I will say, this run is definitely feeling pretty darn good for the most part. The only thing I wish I could change is if I had a little bit more practice on a coming skip here. But I'm probably not going to do the skip because, again, it's one that you practice relatively consistent, or you do not get it. And that's really it. Anyways, let's see if I can get it, I guess. And if I do, awesome, great, love to see it. Alright, nice, I got the skip. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's not the skip at all. Obviously. I feel like I should definitely preface obvious, not the skip. But, anyways. So, I'm not going to try for the skip on this run. It's just not worth the time effort. It is a bit of a hard skip. But, yeah, we're just going to make our way downtown and move along with our day. Can I run behind the tree? No, I guess not. Okay, fair enough. Fun fact about this dragon here. Did you know you could actually shoot the dragon from downtown and essentially just have it so it can't... It despawns itself. It'll literally just despawn itself at that point. You don't have to worry about it being a bastard to you. This is kind of bad lightning RNG, but it's fine. It's okay. That's unfortunate, though. I should have probably just let it hit me with the full breath instead of blocking. Counter damage is a bitch in this game. Oh well, that's why we got the peach. Fucking dragon. Alright, let's try that again. But this time, without it sucking. Miserably. Yeah, unfortunately, the birds in this area do a really good job of being a fucking nuisance. Like, seriously, massive nuisance. It's impressive. I like them. But also, I fucking hate them. For all they're worth. They are god-awful to deal with. Like this. But fun fact, the birds all have a climbing animation. I was slightly terrified there. And one more fun fact for you, if you go up here and you collect this specific item right here, which is a Somber Dragonstone, the dragon will pretty much just despawn. Okay, to be fair, he doesn't normally despawn like that, but I will definitely take it. It was pretty good. Okay. Hopefully we can find another rune arc. We don't need it, but it is nice to have the extra stats when applicable. So. And now the last part of the fun run, running through the second part, which is not really a problem. It's only a pain if you make it a pain. And usually the easiest way to make it a pain is by not moving fast. If you don't move fast here, you're definitely screwing yourself over, because it's just, you either move incredibly well slow through this area, or you don't. The alternatives are die or don't die. That's it. Cool. Alright, now we can make it on over to the next boss of the game. Now, at this point, reasonably, we only have a handful of bosses left, which is pretty darn cool, honestly. Alright, there we go. Set of grace acquired. Now, any chance I could find a rune arc on this corpse right in front of me? If we can, awesome, great, love to see it. But I frankly don't remember the loot off these very much. Aw, sorry, Claps. Yeah, I mean, I have been playing the game for a fair bit of time. But no, welcome to the chat otherwise, buddy. Good to meet you. Alright, so this fight could go either super duper well, or it could be incredibly piss poor. We will have to see what happens. Chug up everything. Love to see it. And let's go into this fight with reasonable expectations. Oh yeah, man, definitely. I mean, honestly, I just love having a good community, so I like to be as supportive as I can. Thank you. I appreciate the sub, bud. Okay, so ideally he always does the same RNG here, but he's being a little bit rude to me today, so it's fine. Okay, understandable. One of the better attacks, if you can get in close enough on him, is the one he just did there. But if you can't get in close on him, it's no problem. It is what it is. That attack right there is probably one of the best ones you can punish him on. Unfortunate that I would chug from the wrong flask twice in a row, and then have my stamina stance broken. The amount of times I get bullied in this game is pretty good, I won't lie. Okay, come on, piss poor RNG is over. There we go, love to see it. Okay, looking good. Looking good. Okay, second phase acquired. Now this is where things get fucking rude. I'm gonna take the crit here because it's honestly... This is a fight that's very rude. Luckily, they give you a chance to pretty much immediately start bullying the boss. But he also is incredibly bullied, so... The trade-offs. Oh, God, and they removed Flame of the Red Mains. Well, they didn't remove it, they just broke its legs. It'll never walk again. Man, I know they have to do things to patch the game to make it functional, but at the same time, it's like... Can't there be a couple of things that are stupid thick bustums? I mean, I'm not asking for unbreakable, dumb glitches in the game that are mean towards other players. I'm asking for fucking busted equipment occasionally. It definitely makes a huge difference in the speedrun tactics for this game. Normally what I was supposed to have done by now is gone to talk to Rogier, who gives you his rapier, and that rapier at this point is the closest thing you get to what Flame of the Red Mains was. It was dummy thick, did a shit ton of damage, and pretty much put an end to boss's life very quickly. So it was nice. There we go, chug this. Let's see if we can do this a little bit better. I would like to win this fight, if I can. But the Malekith RNG can be rough. I didn't need to double chug there, but I do like to double chug if I can help it, so that way I can get more points into my stuff. There we go. Didn't get a chance to roll there, but that's fine. That's unfortunate that he did that to me twice in a row, but it is what it is, I guess. Alright, he's doing the big rock slam. Unfortunate that he would get that extra hit, but it is what it is. One thing that makes Malekith kind of an interesting fight, I guess, is the fact that a lot of the time you have to kind of just be very on his case about literally everything. Like, for instance, this right here. This is new game. This is new game right now, Claps. Okay, unfortunate. Damn it, he bullied me right into the... Ugh, these attacks. He's such a slinky bastard. Fucking Malekith. Oh, I need to work on my Malekith fight. Like, a lot. It's not new game. Or, it's new game right now. My bad, Claps. This is just new game 0. We usually always do the speedrun from new game, so... Otherwise, it wouldn't be the same for me personally. So... I'm gonna try the fight and be a little bit more dumb, I guess. Like, I mean, I'm already being kind of dumb, but I'll try and be a little bit more dumb. Why not? Just for the hell of it. Go right into the fight, buff up on just the one thing. Yeah. Okay, got away with it. Love to see it. Okay, we got away with it. Not awesome, but, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Chug up the one thing so that way we can get a little bit more buffed. Chug a little bit. He's being a little bit rude right now, but it is what it is. It's very Malekith. Unfortunate that that worked that way, but it is what it is. Wow, he is not giving me favorable RNG right now, but it is what it is. Okay, cool. Love to see it. Poor rolls, apparently. Maybe I should have tried to roll a second later, but oh well. Gotta love it. Malekith is definitely one of the few fights in this game that really just kind of, like, he is definitely one of the testers, as far as it's concerned. Alrighty, folks. I think after Malekith, that's probably going to be where we have to cut it tonight, unless I get it on this attempt. If I get it on this attempt, great. We'll go ahead and kind of push on to Gideon / Godfrey, and I'll probably kill it at Godfrey. Renala? Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I run with the army. Nice. Yeah, that's Renala. She's a sorcerer. She can be pretty hard, but like, yeah. Good RNG. Unfortunately, piss poor move on my part, but oh well, it is what it is. That was also piss poor on my part. I could be doing better here. In all seriousness, I'm definitely kind of throwing more than I should be. But, oh well. Malekith is kind of making my life more painful than usual, and I am okay with it, but it sucks. Okay, well that, this is me throwing. Yeah, okay, reset. Malekith is getting to me a little bit, won't lie. Oh well, it's fine. Okay, so I need one incredibly good fight against him in order to kind of move things along here. Or we'll probably have to just say, yeah, Malekith is probably going to be our stopping point tonight. So, it's okay. Honestly, all things considered, it's always going to be a little bit of trouble when it comes to this game. It just is how it works. I'm not sure if the better armor quality will help at this point. I feel like it may, but we'll see. So, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick save quit here. This allows us to buff up properly at the boss gate instead of wasting any time. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Elden Ring is a pretty damn solid game. There are certain things I still wish they kind of kept included in the game. I know, like, obviously they need to patch things and balance things in such a way to make sure that everybody's having a good time with the game. But there are certain things on the PvE spectrum I think that they didn't need to do anything to, for the most part. It's okay. It just, I don't know, it changes how the game gets to function as a whole. And at this point, I would say they did things that limit gameplay elements, as opposed to outright improving gameplay elements. Weird RNG, okay. Any chance you want to do the dagger pull? Yes, you do. Unfortunately, I couldn't get set up. Avoid that. Run in. Bonk him on the noggin. Okay, we didn't get a bleed proc there, and that's a little unfortunate, but it's okay. It is what it is. That was a weird attack, and I wasn't quite ready for it in the way that it came out. There we go. I don't know how that whiffed. I also don't know how that always hits me. But, oh well. Bad roll. Understandable. I jumped, but let's pretend like I didn't, I guess. Oh well, that's okay. One thing that annoyed you was that, oh, you played Bloodborne first. I see. Yeah, I would definitely, I could totally feel that. It took me a while to figure it out my first time. And, I got lost pretty much in every open world area that Elden Ring had to offer, honestly. Like, everything that Elden Ring had to offer, I got lost. I know for some people that is not ideal by most means. It took me a long ass time to get into a majority of locations. Like, I had to figure that shit out way more than I ever thought I would. So, it was daunting, but it was pretty good. Now that I know kind of where things are at, I guess that's a double-edged sword of it, is like, once you start knowing where things are at, how to do things, it becomes a lot better. The one thing I will consistently say to this day they need to improve upon is making it so it's a little bit easier to find your somber stones and your stones in general, because it can be a pain in the ass having to find smithy stones and somber stones, unless you already know. Like, it is a lot of effort. All right, come on, man. Good RNG. That's kind of piss poor RNG, but I'll take it anyways. Love to see it. Roll the attack, run away. Actually, this is my favorite attack, but it usually doesn't go great. Okay, cool. Second phase. This isn't technically ideal because he starts off with max poise. I don't know how I avoided that for my very first time ever, but I will take it. It's so hard to avoid that attack. It is really just awful. Luckily, he didn't get the proc, so take what you can get. He always, in second phase, is usually a lot easier to stagger, but he doesn't seem to be giving it to me today. Sir, don't lock me in on your hip, okay? Please? Like, I know you want to murder me. Like, I know it's your goal, but still. There we go. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, of course. Okay, cool. Love to see it. Oh, alright guys. I think this run is probably dead in the water. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is where we call it here tonight. I do really greatly appreciate you all coming in and having fun with me here. It was a lot of fun. I think the route was honestly really, really solid. I just need to work on my my Malekith fight a little bit more. So I'm probably going to keep this character alive tonight. Speen gets to live a little bit longer. But I'm going to do some practice on Malekith to kind of see if I can improve the routing a little bit. But that being said, friends, I really do hope you all take great care of yourselves. Make sure to get some good dinner if you haven't already, or if you have, get some good sleep, get some good drinks, make sure you're staying hydrated, all that magic. And I think that's going to have to be about it. All right? Thank you all so, so much for joining me here tonight. I really greatly appreciate it. And what can I say other than, yeah, I'll see you all later, okay? Thank you so much, and